Hello, my name's Harry Tambuatco. It stays there, ha? Tambuatco. Not Aquino, Tambuatco. Our guest is from the Council of Philippine Affairs. We have Pastor Boy Saicon. We will continue the second segment, now going to a bit of an analysis towards what we call a year-end report. Boy, since the President has come in, he has been very strong. The perception based on the surveys that have been promoted, the people hold him in high esteem. Now, he has promoted, kung walang magnanakaw, walang mahirap. Di ba? Kung walang korap, walang mahirap. Kayo ang boss ko, and daan matuwid. After 3 years and a half, at the rate we're going now to end the 3.5-year term, and soon you'll only have 2.5 years left to go. The perception of the President is suffering, even based on the surveys that he controls, or seemingly control, or perceived to control. That's better. Where do you think he's going after all the boo-boos? We've had the first this year. Ano yung mga hassle natin this year? The big issues. Zamboanga, the siege na politiko. We had the earthquake in Bohol. Again, the Yellow Army came in, it seems, again na politiko. We had the worst devastation seen yet by a storm surge, Yolanda. Again, very obviously, not even us this time, but foreign media. Will the President and his men continue this politics of what the Yellow Army, the Liberal Party, but for what purpose? Alam mo, the strong contender in 26, if there's anything we've learned year-end, Binay is definitely becoming the next president. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He didn't have to do anything.
Oh nga, he doesn't have to campaign. Dapat di na nga nilagay yung mga mukha niya doon. Pangalan niya, kalokohan lang nangyari. This party is self-imploding.
You're very correct. You're very correct.
Ganun nangyayari. Is there any way that he can still salvage it?
You know,
kasi mabait naman na bata yan si Noy Noy.
I remember what he said in the inaugural speech. And that after his interview was, those that were working with me, first must pass, sabi niya, the appointments committee.
Which hasn't happened.
if you are bypassed 3 times,
out ka na dapat.
Out ka na dapat. Okay, now.
Let me point out who they are. You have Pahet, Soliman. Of course, I don't know if Biason was, but that's immaterial, mutin academic. I think those 3 na lang, di ba? Ona. O lumampas na. Hindi pa rin si Ona.
Anyway, it's just one promise, no, that the President and the people are waiting. Now, those that contributed the negative factor to him by isolating him from the endearment of his people, dapat yun i-let go na niya. Well, 3 years was more than enough. The President has given them to prove their worth.
Actually, mahaba yan.
Pagka yun, ipinakita niya sa tao na nakahanda na ako, na isakripisyo itong mga naging tao ko, then there will be a positive reaction from the people by and large. But ang isang problema na alam ko na mahirap patayin is still the PDAP issue. Because the PDAP issue now becomes more glaring because you cannot now support the rehabilitation. Dahil wala na nga pera eh.
Wala na nga.
Now, ang tinatanong ngayon ng tao, out of the legislated PDAP funds, no? Magkano ba talaga napunta dun sa DAF? So, 2010 to 2013, no? Kasi ang lumalabas lagi sa report, sinasabi nila, hanggang 2009 lang. Yung 2007-2009, sa akin, hindi sa kalimutan nyo, no? Dapat iayos din natin at alamin ang pagkakamali. Pero mas importante, yung term mo, sapagkat ang tingin ng tao, ikaw, very honest ka at matuwid ang daan ating tinatahak, no? Pero binalot ng kadiliman ngayon yun. It's now engulfed by what we call clouding, no? Dark clouds. At hindi mo makita yung daan sa kadiliman na yan.
Why do you think the DBM Secretary is continuing to keep it as a secret? He doesn't want to account for it openly. especially the DAP, just last year's.
Aba,
Ayaw ilabas. Ano rason dyan? Is
eh,
it political? Is it because they're hiding something, or it could be both?
Both could be both. Like okay, everybody knows that there are not proportionate allocation, no, that the districts are getting. Like for the agriculture, Batanes, who has 8,000 voters, got more than 800 million.
Oo nga. So, almost a billion.
Samantala, we have a district in San Jose del Monte who has more than close to almost 700,000 people. Where dyan tinatapon lahat ng squatter.
Correct.
So, and yet, magkano lang nakuha niyang pera? Nakakuha lang siya ng 80 million. No, so, you see the disproportionate. Now, ayaw ko nang sabihin may politika. Pero yung ganong klaseng discretionary, doon ba sa 800, nanggaling ba sa PDAP yun? Which cannot be. Because the PDAP is appropriated. According to what Congress has approved.
Correct.
Ilan na nanggaling sa DAP doon sa 800?
Ikaw ba narinig mo na ba yan, DAP? Ever since?
Panahon namin ni President Ramos, wala niyan eh.
Wala, no?
Wala.
But how can one man, Butch Abad, create a budget for himself without law? Is that parang... And then, sasabihin niya, it's called impounding, it's called savings.
Okay, let me just correct you. No? When you say savings, remember, all these budgets goes to Congress. And each department practically has to beg Congress, okay, to approve their proposed budget.
For their
At
projects.
pinapalakihan. Dahil kailangan ng taong bayan. Eh ngayon, sasabihin mo sa akin, savings. Bakit mo tinipid yung taong bayan? Hindi mo ginastos. Kasi samantala hiningi mo sa akin yung budget yan. Pagkatapos nung naging savings yan, inilipat mo naman sa isang ahensya na naging discretionary
Ng
from
presidente.
appropriated. Paano mo ngayong i-justify yan? Kaya nga, ang ayaw nilang ilabas ngayon, ilan ba dun sa appropriated PDAF ang inilipat nyo sa DAF?
And then
Whether it
became
is savings or what, magkano, then naging discretionary.
discretionary.
So nawalan ngayon ng tinatawag tayo na transparency.
Nawala na nga.
Walang transparency.
Do you feel our democracy is in danger? Just the other day, who was it, Ungab Umali or was it Castro? One of the congressmen decided he will try and impeach the Supreme Court. Meantime, the Supreme Court's deliberating and has delayed for some 42 days their decision and resolution for the DAP, while just canceling or declaring unconstitutional and overriding all their previous decisions on the PDAF, which was a very popular move to the detriment of congressmen. Diba? Now, then you've got the presidency and his executive whose surveys are dropping and who's perceived incompetent and found wanting, not just by the local media, international media. Is our democracy in danger? Hindi kaya may crisis tayo ngayon. The three branches of government are adverse to each other at this point.
You know, when the truth is stifled, democracy is threatened.
So
When
even
the
before
truth-
that, because of the truth,
Ay, ang tao, naninindigan niya sa katotohanan. We are supporting a very young president
yes,
who is not only perceived to be honest, but honest,
he is.
but is tolerant of people who are questionable around him.
Weak.
For the last 3 years, that benefit of the doubt is changing towards now, not only tolerant, but you are already a part of the problem. Kasi kung mapagpatawad ka, mapagbigay ka, maunawa ng tao yun for 3 years. So, pero more than 3 years, iba ng usapan yun.
But shouldn't the president take the fall if he decides to keep them? Because his cabinet is his alter ego. Di ba command responsibility yun eh?
It is applicable to everyone, including the president, that command responsibility. Para nagutan yan. Katulad nga ng walang mailabas na pera doon sa rehabilitasyon.
Wala
Kaya
nga.
minamadali nila yung budget for next year. Paano mong mamadaliin yun? Hindi mo naman dinidesisyonan sa Supreme Court, install yung DAF.
Correct.
Okay? So, what is the guarantee that the PDAF
Yes.
will not again suffer the same consequences of having savings? Kasi nakita ko na noon yan yung savings, halimbawa, Armed Forces of the Philippines. Sa initial budget, gagawa ng memo. Ang ilalagay doon sa memo, we are initiating belt-tightening programs. We have to reduce by 10% all our expenditures across the board.
Nako.
So, maganda boss, it's a very noble. Di ba? So, aprobahan ng in-house COA.
Of course.
Maganda yan, savings
Savings.
Okay. Pero hindi sinasabi saan mapupunta yung savings. Magiging ngayon, yung savings mapupunta sa isang account na nagiging discretionary on the authority in the DND. So, kung 10% first quarter, 10% second quarter, 10%, mapakalaking pera niyan.
Correct.
Now, what happens? I'm just giving you a lowdown. On the fourth quarter, okay, before the end of the year, siyempre lalabas ngayon yung pangailangan short.
Correct.
Short sa pagkain, short sa bala,
Of
short sa
course.
uniforme. Hihingi ngayon yung for major services. Sir, kulang po yung pera natin. Kailangan natin i-serve yung mga unserved POs. So, anong sasabihin nila? But subject to availability of funds. Nasaan yung funds? Nalipat nga doon sa discretionary fund. Okay? So, sabihin nila, a-appeal kayo kay Chief of Staff. Sa Secretary of
Sige,
National Defense. Pagpunta mo ngayon doon, yun naman mga regular supplier ng uniforme, sapatos, boots, sasabihin nila, boss, hindi na kailangan i-bidding yan because we are just complying to fulfill the unfulfilled.
Meron pa,
Meron pa. Okay lang, sabi nila, humingi kayo ng pera doon. Kasi wala na doon sa regular budget, napunta na doon sa savings.
Oh, na savings na.
Pupunta kayo doon. Doon nangyayari yung corruption.
Ayun.
Doon nangyayari yung corruption.
But it is so blatant and it's so open, and yet, in spite of all of this, in the last 3 weeks, tuloy pa rin ang ligaya. There is also the perception that the Supreme Court cowered because their fear of constitutional crisis. So, pinauubos na lang ang pondo kung ano nandiyan dyan sa DAP para next year na umpisahan ng wala ng DAP. Assuming they decide to make it unconstitutional.
Ako, wag natin, let's not push the people against the wall. No? Where they will have no other recourse but to fight back. Pag dumating doon sa puntos na yan, dahil one, naging inept, inefficient, the government cannot deliver the social services that's required of the people. And then the issue that the people believe was because it happened because the government is corrupt. No?
Correct.
That changes the ball game. Uugong na naman dyan yung mga tinatawag na destabilization.
Umuugong na nga ngayon eh.
Kaya nga maraming ang...
marami na lumalabas. Military daw, special espionage, ang dami na.
Hindi, kaya nga.
Naano na sila, apektado na sila.
Hindi, katulad yan, no? The crisis is cropping up everywhere. Nagkaroon ng problema sa Yemen. We have to bring back all our overseas contract workers everywhere, no?
Yes.
So, it does not stop It does not end. And yet the government apparently, para bang it appears, is not prepared.
Until now, in spite of.
In short, like DFA is prepared, no? It has to do what it has to do. But ang tanong, saan magagaling ang pera? At the end of the day, it's the budget. And that's where Butchabat is sitting on top of that. Now, hanggang ngayon, walang nagsasabi, magkano ba ang pera na natitira sa DBM?
Wala nga eh.
So,
Yan ang problema.
if we cannot even assure our people that there is more than enough, no, for the social needs, wag na infrastructure.
Hindi kaya, boy, takot ang lehislatura, both the Senate and Congressmen, sa DBM na hindi nila masamon, ma-oversight, hindi nila ma-question yan. Takot ba sila? Hindi naman, wala naman mandato si Butch eh.
Hindi, pero yung kultura, boss, ng Hari, yung kultura ng naitayo na at yung tinatawag na kalakaran the way, no, and means, was that Congress now is a captured element of the executive. Uh, Even if the budget appropriated by them emanates from them, but the disbursement is controlled by the executive.
Useless, yes.
Okay.
It's the executive that runs
I
everything.
talked to 8 congressmen during your awarding.
Yes, yes.
Okay? Imagine, not a single congressman, even from the Liberal Party, received anything for 2013.
Lahat hinold.
Inold nila lahat. Ngayon, ang tanong ko, saan dinala? Ngayon, and yet, pag tinignan ko, noong 2011, no? Bakit biglang nagkaroon ng pera gobyerno? Binayaran nila yung peace bond na 13 billion.
Okay, Suliman.
So, di ba? Bakit?
Yeah, question siya dun, ha? Questionable yun.
Those are the flotation na ginawa nung panahon ni Gloria. Na nag-mature panahon ni Pinoy na wala naman sa kinalaman. And yet, those people that work with Gloria are still with Pinoy were the ones that maneuvered to say that meron kaming perang pambayad. Kaya for the first year ng 2010 ni Pinoy, walang umusad na infra. Pero inilagay doon sa pambayad doon sa peace bonds. Pagtakpan yung talaga kung ano yung nangyari at saan nagpunta yung pera ng peace bonds.
So we are left in the dark.
Yung mga katotohanan na ito, sinasabi ko na nagpatong-patong na hindi na naipaliwanag sa tao. Para bang it was swept under the rug at ang sabi natin, bahala na ang Diyos. Bahala na kayo sa buhay nyo. It's so revolting, Hari. Alam ko, natatawa ka lang, pero it's so revolting.
No, I find it ridiculous na. I don't know what to say. And yet, I hold back, with my temper, with my mouth, trying to lash out at this government when it just doesn't stop. The truth, for some reason, is timed. Ayaw nila talaga palabasin. And information that is crucial. And, it's what makes the wheels turn, di ba? The money. Wala eh.
That's what make the people believe in the government. Yung katotohanan. Pag nawala na yan, sabi ko, then it's a game changer.
If Pinoy stays in his stubborn ways and keeps his weak cabinet around him, where do you see him in 2014?
As we speak today, already he's being referred to as a weakling and crippled president.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Ang pinag-usapan natin, sana nga makatulong tayong dalawa dito, Hari, paano natin ma-reverse yan at ano ang maipanukala natin sa kanya? Ang sa akin nga,
Kabinete lang eh.
yung kabinete, palitan niya, no? At
Bring
humanap
professionals.
siya ng talagang mga competent at beyond reproach ang kanilang mga integridad.
Meron naman eh. Marami dyan.
Lalo na, marami naman kako dyan, yung mga naging tao, yung Mrs. Aquino,
Correct.
na mabubuting tao. Nakahanda rin tumulong naman yun, mga tahimik lang dyan na nag-iintay.
Tahimik lang.
So, it's about time to recruit the old guards, those with integrity.
That's a nice option. For the first time I've heard that, but at least you're bringing in professionals to run the show.
Correct.
Because there's no more hope eh. Wala nang, you've reached the end of
3
the
years
line.
naging negative na yung impact ng mga taong ito sa paligid niya. Na pagkatapos ang perception pa, pinoproteksyonan niya. No?
Pinoprotection.
Pagka tumuloy na gano'n, then magiging irreversible yung negative impact towards the end of the day. Now, kawawa yung Liberal Party, kawawa yung kandidato nila sa 2016. Kaya nga sabi ko, si Vice President Binay, wala nang ginagawa eh.
He doesn't have to.
He does not have to do anything, and yet his popularity rating is still very high.
Correct.
Di ba? The sinkhole that is being created by Mar, the sinkhole
right
being
now.
created by Butch Abad,
Yun.
is causing the President a lot of problem.
Yes.
Hindi naman niya pwedeng bitbitin ito nang siya lang mag-isa.
Buti na lang, he got rid of the customs guy, si Biason. But he didn't even get rid of him. The guy just left on his own.
Yung messaging group niya, at least nagkaroon ng reorganization. No?
Well, -1 lang. But there are still sharp tongues there.
Oh, pero alam mo kasi importante, we need the
Yung dalawa daw,
organs.
masyado matalas pa yung dila eh.
Hindi, alam mo, the president needs endearment.
Correct. That's
Kailangan
nice.
maipalapit siya sa taong bayan. Yung pagmamahal sa kanya, no, ay kailangan maibalik. Nawawala yun eh, unti-unti. And we have to accept that. And I think the other groups in Malacanang, they call the summer group, no, is doing also their part of the work, no, to correct this. Kaya lang, it's being pulled down by the other group.
The other group. Yeah.
Kaya ang nangyari, negative din.
Anything plus negative goes negative.
Negative yun.
Thank you very much, Boy. We're at the top of the hour.
Thank
Ladies
you
and
very
gentlemen,
much, and Merry Christmas to you, and your congratulations on your show, Harry. More power to you.
Thank you very much. Boy, if you would be more available in this coming year, I would like to seek your advice on issues that are coming up, because I know for a fact you're neither pro or anti.
Yes.
Neither. There's no real position. Ladies and gentlemen, I am making an effort not to slam bang like I normally do and come out very strong, fighting, and I am trying very hard to make it more balanced so that there are no real biases coming out. But the government, the administration is making this job extremely difficult for me. Tama po yung pinag-usapan namin dito. The people need to become more endearing to the president again, because he is really a good person. His cabinet require immediate replacement. Somehow, because they have failed, if today was to be the measurement of any success of his administration. The time is gone, the time is short. We hope you've enjoyed our program, and wishing you a Merry Christmas in the next few weeks. Maraming salamat po. Thanks, Sam.
You are what you watch.